Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today we are playing against Willises. Some of you will remember Willises from, I think, about a year ago when he used to play in a lot of tournaments with us, and I used to play against him every now and then. And we are playing against his specialty team, so usually takes these very defensive teams, and that's exactly what he has right here. So Flagellant with the Snuff, Doggy with the maximum amounts of dodge, Man-at-Arms very tanky, also gonna apply Bolster for sure, and then an Antiquarian for the regen and the tankiness, so just all around very tanky team. So we are playing kind of a little bit of a different Shep Stress, and I'm gonna say the difference might be what takes us down here. The devil is in the details. That crit is a really big detail on this transformation slam and something that we definitely enjoy. But we are playing Shep Stress without the Doggy, so is it really Shep Stress? Yeah, it is. It is Shep Stress number 2. We have an Antiquarian rather than a Doggy. So what is the perks and what are the downsides of having an Antiquarian? Well, she essentially does have stress compared to the Doggy, especially considering that there's no Crimson Hook. But the upsides are that Materia Pestis is gonna hurt, and you also have the potential of regen. And she can also use Take Cover, and she can use Protect Me. So she has some upsides, but she has some downsides too. Which one's better? Well, it's matchup dependent. It's completely matchup dependent. But I will say, Shep Stress already has a relatively good time against stress teams because Flagellant, Crimson Hook, Command Buffs, Abomination, Transform, Detransform, Be-Smile, Reign of Sorrows destroys your backline, you know, it usually has a really good time. Against damage teams, it still has the tools to deal with them, but sometimes it has a little bit of a poor time because the Doggy just gets pulled and the A-Bomb gets in position 4 if I don't go first. But with an Antiquarian, we can just use Take Cover, we can use Regen, which is really good against most stress teams, I mean against most damage teams, and with that we do have a little bit more of a better shot at taking down those teams. Also, Blight can also deal with Crusaders, and Arbals a lot better than Bleed does, because not only can the Arbals not clear them, it also applies a lot more easily. So we have a command buff, we're gonna go for it, and you can see like the amount of stress we're outputting is laughable. It would be still not great with the Doggy, but it is even worse with the Antiquarian. But of course, against those damage teams, if you just get like 3 Hound series off and 2 of them are crits, you essentially win the match because you just start getting to Afflictions a whole lot faster than the Antiquarian gets to Afflictions. So slowing down the match is both a blessing and a curse. Usually a blessing, you want to slow down the match as much as possible with the stress team so you can start getting Afflictions and then your characters stay alive for a while. That's a very good stun resistance. I love punishing those Doggies that go for stuns when they don't have a stun trinket, and you shouldn't have a stun trinket on Doggy. He only has Blackjack, and yeah, you shouldn't really do that. He doesn't benefit much from the damage, and it's not like you're going to be using Blackjack every round like if you're a Crusader. So we resist that 75% stun, we get to Detransform, we get a Be-Smile with a command buff, we get a crit out of it too, which means you absolutely cannot go AoE right now, because I have a transformation buff, I have 2 crits on this transformation buff, and it is absolutely great. So we are we going to use Bolster is the question? I think we will, because Bolster is still going to be good. And we already have 1 command buff, so it should be okay to hit most of my abilities. I mean, Reign of Sorrows is probably going to miss. But I think Bolster, if we are looking at the big picture here, Bolster is definitely going to help us throughout like the next 10 rounds or something. It's going to be great. It means that the Reign of Sorrows can actually miss my Antiquarian. It's going to be fine. It is a good play. So we're going to go for the Festering Vapors first. Hopefully get a crit out of it. Sadly we don't. We wanted to get a crit because with a crit you get the extra 10 dodge on the Antiquarian. That could have been very handy against this Flagellant, but we didn't get it. So the Reign of Sorrows is not probably gonna hit, but it has a decent chance of hitting, like very decent chance of hitting, and it gets the crit on top. So yeah, my Antiquarian is not having a good time. Of course we can always go for, you know, Protect Me on the Flagellant after the Flagellant action, and that means that any damage gets essentially funneled to the Flagellant rather than the Antiquarian. That's a great thing. The Flagellant loves taking up damage in matches like this, because it means you can actually use your Redeem and Exsanguinate when you normally wouldn't. So it's going to be another Reign of Sorrows. It's definitely hurting. Gets both bleeds too, and my backline is taking some serious damage. But your team is taking some serious damage too. And I am running out of command buffs, but the question is, do I really want to use Protect Me? I think I do, actually. I do think I do. I'm gonna go for the... a little bit weird Rain of Sorrows first, and then I'm gonna apply the Protect Me. Also, I've been hitting that Doggy like every single time with Rain of Sorrows, like 3 Rain of Sorrows, 3 hits. None of them were confirmed, most of them were like 50-50, so actually hitting those on the Doggy has been wonderful, and that means that he's in a really rough spot. The reason I went for that is because I didn't want to waste a round of command buff on the Antiquarian. I mean, I'm still gonna waste one, but now, rather than going command buff first, then Rain of Sorrows, and then going for the Antiquarian action, instead of losing like a double command buff on the Antiquarian, I'm only gonna lose like 1 round of plus 20, rather than losing 1 round of plus 40, and of course the crit chance. So it's gonna be a battle, which means that my damage on the Abomination is definitely gonna be hindered, but it is still wonderful, and we don't care. Keep spamming those command buffs. As long as there's dodge, you can keep spamming it, you're gonna get more crits out of it. I'm gonna have to say, if I had Shep Stress right here, 3 rounds and more to come with that hound there would have been wonderful. So I do actually hit the repulse, but for only 6 there, which is surprising. I was expecting a whole lot more, not gonna lie. I guess I only had plus 45% damage and there was 15% protection, but I was still expecting a little more. Not gonna lie. Now this song is in some danger. He's in some serious danger right now because he's gonna get afflicted, and afflictions could be great or they could be terrible. You might get abusive. Let's see, what do you get? He gets hopeless, which is also a good affliction to get on my opponent because that's -5 dodge. So nothing makes sense. The scent is lost. It's not a bad act out at all. It's just a hound's Harry, so pretty much just the usual stuff. Now I'm thinking of going for a slam on the flashbang, but that would prevent me from using Beast Bile next round. So do I really want to do that? Do I really want to do that? And the answer is not really, so I'm gonna go for this instead. That is gonna make it so I heal the Flagellant Stress, which isn't great, but let's be honest, with Festering Vapors rather than Hound's Harry, you're not gonna afflict the Flagellant anyway. Like, Shep Stress can usually afflict the enemy Flagellants, because Hound's Harry just does that much stress that between the Hoarder and the Hound's Harry you can actually afflict the Flagellant, and, you know, between the Punisher too. But using Festering Vapors against this and Bolster buff, nah, we're never gonna afflict them anyway, so I don't really mind going for that trick. Also, he regens to an HP amount where he actually cannot go redeem on that Doggy. And if you want to guard him, like, yeah, you can go for a guard, but do you really want to do that? I'm not too sure. I might want to go... I am going to go for another command buff before I actually go for the Festering Vapors, because I think that with even 30 Brot, with the plus 50% damage while guarded, like, there's no way I do 0 damage right here with this Antiquarian. Like, I should not need a command buff to do damage. I'm out of this store, only 30% protection after a guard should not be enough to save you. But let's see what happens. So I get hit for 3, which means we're dropping to Death Star, but there isn't any protection, so we're definitely still gonna do damage. Also, we might be down 10 accuracy, but we're up 40 because of the double command buff, so our hit chances are good. Of course, good isn't great, and we only get 2 hits out of the 3. Come on, 120 accuracy? Seriously? That is unlucky. I really can't complain too much about it, because I would never be in the situation where I would be able to get death rolls right now if I didn't hit the triple Rain of Sorrows at the start of the match, so I do not have a leg to stand on and complain in terms of what's going on right now. So I could go Punish here, or I could go Rain of Sorrows. Rain of Sorrows is taking out the Man-at-Arms faster, it's doing damage to the Antiquarian, but Punish is killing the Flagellant, and we take kills. Even if it didn't kill the Flagellant, it would do extra stress, and I think that is just okay here. You know, overall, I think taking out the Doggy as of right now is good for us. So there isn't a death blow right there, which is great. The guard is going to go away very soon too, but that is not a concern as of right now, because Rain of Sorrows cannot hit this at this point. And we can delay to the point where it will not hit us this round, essentially. And we can worry about healing the Antiquarian after that. So we go for this. I think the Man-at-Arms is dropping to 0. He's taking 20 damage and he's healing 9. So 9 plus 11 is 20. minus 20 is 0, so he's gonna drop to 0. He's likely gonna get afflicted. I mean, there's numbing instance plus bolster buff, so I'm not too sure if he's gonna get afflicted or not, but hopefully. We do have a lot of plus damage on this abomination, so if you want to go punish, I think you're gonna take a lot of damage for it. Yep, that's a crit for 14. Good job, Avon. That's the damage I was talking about. He does some insane damage when he has those plus damage numbers. He has plus 65% right now. And that plus 65% is essentially taking away most of the minus 80% damage on the repulse. And of course we have 9 to 17 damage base, which is a huge amount. Which means that your repulse is gonna hurt, and it hurts good. It does hurt good. I think I'm gonna click right here and actually go command again. Yeah, believe it or not, I'm actually gonna go command again. Get us more accuracy buffs. Now, I'm in a little bit of a rough spot because essentially my team is dead. The Antiquarian might just die to a festering or something. The man-at-arms might die to a festering or something, you know, same thing. And the abomination isn't really going to survive long against the flatulent. So not all is great in Shepherd Doggy land right now. And I am going to lose the guard if I do decide to go Reign of Sorrows, which I will. I have to go Reign of Sorrows right now. I need to kill the man-at-arms ASAP, so you don't have a good redeem target, and so you don't have a way of guarding that flagell, so I can actually win the 1v1 at the end of the match. You're gonna pass. Okay, thankfully. If he passed, I would pass. That is the rules of the Butcher Circus. Of course, a pass for me right now is better than a pass for my opponent, because he only has 3 rounds while I have 4. So I'm gonna go for this Reign of Sorrows. Don't get a death blow, but look at that, plus 12% crit chance from the command buff, plus 7% crit chance from HP below 40, plus 3% crit chance from Crimson Hook, plus the base crit chance of 6, plus the 6 from Reign of Sorrows. Like, come on, it's just gonna be critting every single round. Gonna go Festering Vapors now. Of course we do 0 damage. I mean, there's prot, and there's minus damage here, so I suppose. Oh well, what can you do about it? And now we're in danger. I mean, we'd be in danger anyway, even though it protects me on that flash, but we are definitely in danger right now. Like, there's Reign of Sorrows. I mean, probably there isn't Reign of Sorrows because he's gonna drop to Death Star. There's Festering Vapors, but you know, that's Festering Vapors into Repulse with plus 65. Do it. Yes. Okay, that's one death blow, but yes, crit 19. Oh, I love to see it. Even if it means death, I love to see it. Honestly, A-Bomb and Flagellum can win this on their own, so I'm just gonna click here and I'm gonna go for a... Bellow, because it's gonna kill the man-at-arms a little faster. It's gonna get the Antiquarian afflicted, right? She doesn't have a virtue chance, does she? I hope she doesn't have a virtue chance. No, she goes masochistic. Okay, that's perfect. So yeah, we're probably gonna go redeem. With this Flagellum, we're gonna go redeem on our Abomination. And the Abomination is gonna keep spamming that Peace Spell, because right now we're doing so much damage. Yeah, did we roll for like a crit 19 there? Like that's like Higher Man levels of damage. Oh no, you can't stun. Okay, it would be amazing if you could stun there. Sadly you can't, but that's still a very interesting act out. If I get a 20% death vote chance, I could just take the match on the spot. But do I want to go for a 20% chance of winning the match? I mean, when you put it like that, yeah. But yeah, he guards. Honestly, I don't think guarding here was the play. I wouldn't reasonably go Exsanguinate because I don't have to. Not only that, I will also put my Abomination in danger by not going Redeem right now, so I don't think that would be the play. I'm gonna heal here. I am gonna do that. It's a little bit passive, it is a little bit passive, but I think it's what I have to do right now if I want to keep my Abomination alive, and I really want to keep my Abomination alive, because these two are what win you the matches at the end, against these stress teams. Like, the Doggy's gonna die eventually, or Doggy / Antiquarian, they're gonna die. Man-at-arms is gonna die, but he's gonna do command buffs before he dies, so... What do you want to do with this Flag? Like, you cannot heal. But if you do that, you can't hit the Abomination. You can hit the Man-at-Arms, but I don't really care, he's dying anyway. And you can hit the Flagellum too, but if you hit the Flagellum, you activate my damage. And I'm not sure if you want to do that. He goes Redeem, big heal on the Man-at-Arms, keeping him alive. And not well, but, you know, okay-ish. We have a lot of plus damage right now. Even with all this plus damage, of course we still only roll for like 2 to 4 because that's not how the damage works, you know. The damage mod goes to like minus 90 here, and after going down to minus 90, then you start doing damage buffs. So it doesn't work like you'd wish it would. But how much damage do we still have, actually? We only have plus 40% damage left. Yeah, it's not as big as it once was. But hopefully we can still make it work. It's also a decent amount of stress on the enemy team, but once again, don't take Antiquarian over the Doggy. Yeah, sure, you're gonna have potentially a better matchup against Stab Machines, so look at this. These characters aren't dead. Like, these characters should be dead to stress right now, and they simply aren't, and that's terrible. That is terrible news for us. We still have 2 command buffs. Should we give ourselves another one? Yeah, we're gonna drop to this, but we're gonna do it, right? I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna drop another command buff. That's more accuracy, more crit. I'm not gonna miss. Even against a 35 dodge, come on, go festering vapors. I dare you, I double dare you. I have plus 76 accuracy on my abomination. I have more accuracy than a jester with finale, with battle ballad. Do it. Test your 35 dodge, test your might against Django Unchained, the only one. What do you want to do with this Antiquarian, actually? You might go regen, but come on, regen against this amount of DOT, it's not going to work. He actually goes festering, gets a crit out of it, but gets hit to death's door too. This is actually a little closer than it looks. Yeah, this is a little closer than it looks, because my abomination is about to go hopeless, and he's also taking a lot of DOT, right? And then the Flagellants are going to have a 1v1. I'm down... I mean, we're both down 1 redeem. It's not like either of us have an advantage. Don't. Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. What would have been, like, terrible would be a move forward, because then that would just be a pass, because I have to move back. I mean, there's no world where I go Manacles here. Manacles does absolutely nothing for me. It means I can't do anything against the Flash. And let's be honest, the Abomination can't do much against the Flagellant. Not in a situation like this, apart from the Repulse. The Repulse definitely helps. That's a death blow right there. That's a very saddening death blow, but it is one that happened. And it is one that we have to deal with. So we can go Reign of Sorrows here, and that's probably a death blow, or we can go Punish here, and that's also probably a death blow. I'm gonna go for a Punish, because I think taking out this Man-at-Arms is very important here, because it's gonna give us access to that Flagellant. We don't want to let him use Redeem again, so you need to keep that in mind too. And after this I can just go Peace Smile, and they're probably both dead, right? Yeah, probably. Depends on the actions he goes for. Definitely does depend on the actions he goes for. Because if I drop a Beast Spell right now, I probably do enough stress. I do 14 minus half plus 10%. Oh, well, that makes things easy for us, doesn't it? It does make things quite easy for us. Or does it, actually? Or does it? Yes, it does. I am gonna go for a weird play right now. If I do this, he lives. I can't allow that. I have to do this. I have to heal myself here, believe it or not. The Flagellant doesn't have enough blight on him that he actually drops to a position where he can redeem the Man-at-Arms out of that star. Like, the only chance you'd have right now is if the Flagellant just, like, didn't act out to do some stress on the Man-at-Arms, but he's not even afflicted. So the fact that I didn't afflict your Flagellant is actually working against you right now, which is great news. He's gonna go for Reign of Sorrows on my Abomination, I think. Confirmed hit chance, I believe, and confirmed bleed chance too. And that definitely hurts, but it's not the end of the world. Right now we just move back, because that's what we have to do, and the Man-at-Arms should die after that. So yeah, the Man-at-Arms is gone, and now we can start going for some serious damage on that Flash. So, the situation right now is that a stun heals stress and does essentially nothing. But a Beast Smile can cause blights and can cause some general nastiness. Also, we did stress with that on the Flagellant. Our biggest way of dealing stress was to crit the corpse next to him. Yeah, that's just Gauntlet of Absolution for you. Also, Gauntlet of Absolution is in position too. If Willises loses this match, it's because of that. You should not put this in position too. I don't have ADHD, but it's essentially as if I did. 9? No, that's a 1. I forget about the big damage rolls on the Abomination Shep. Yeah, forget about that. Yeah, I just hate seeing Gauntlet of Absolution in position 2. Put it in position 1, please. On the Trinket Swords. Like, please, this is a humble request. I'm gonna go for a Punish right now. I do a grand total of 3 stress by dropping a character to their store too. I wonder how that works. Yeah, Bolster buff, Gauntlet of Absolution. It's just tough to deal with. We're probably not gonna get him afflicted, but yes, 3 Exsanguinates. I have 3 Exsanguinates and 1 Redeem. You have to go Exsanguinate right now, because if you don't, the Abomination starts rolling for death blows, and you do not want an Abomination rolling for death blows right now. Yeah, you absolutely do not want that. Let me tell you that, like, straight up, you do not want that to happen. So yeah, there's gonna be an Exsanguinate right now. It's gonna do us some damage, like definitely some considerable amount of damage, and we're gonna go manacles right now. So you're gonna hit ourselves for a little bit, but we're gonna go manacles, hopefully do some damage with it. 15% chance of getting the stun. Do we get it? No, we don't, of course. Wishful thinking, Shepherd. Doggy, wishful thinking. I could go for the Exsanguinate right now, or I could not. Oh, 80% hit chance. No, 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 no. We don't do those. We do not do those. Wait, what was the hit chance he had? He has plus 10 accuracy, plus 5, minus 4. So he has plus 11 accuracy, so he had 96 against the 10 dodge. So he had an 86% hit chance on that Exang. So he's gonna go Rain of Sorrows, like he's slowly but surely taking out by Abomination, but it's gonna take a whole lot more Rain of Sorrows to actually take me out. Because I can keep doing this, and I'm gonna do a lot of damage to your Flagellant, while my Flagellant just stays alive and perfectly safe. Not only that, but you're also gonna have to heal yourself again right now, unless you want to suffer a double death sword check. So just having a character advantage at the end of the match, it is wonderful. It is definitely wonderful. I don't think the enemy Flagellant can handle this, and I don't think going Exsanguinate right now is gonna do all that much for you. Not gonna lie, you still have bleed on you. I'm definitely gonna drop another punish, and I'm gonna just drop a absolution here. So again, went for a little bit of a risky chance of actually getting that damage through, but you know, you had to. We want to keep ourselves out of that store, keep the Abomination alive for as long as possible. Not a crit heal, sadly, but you know, you can always hope for that 12%. It's probably not gonna work, but if it does, well, it's pretty fun. He only healed himself for 15, so with this and the bleed that he already had applied on him, and plus Crimson Hook, like 100% bleed chance, he's gonna drop to Death Store again with minus healing skills, and the Exsanguinate is probably not gonna be enough to save you here. Because if you go for it again, you still heal yourself for 15, my characters are still alive, and I'm up 3 Exsanguinates, and your Flagellant's almost afflicted too, so I do not think you have a good chance of winning this. So he's gonna play this a little bit risky, that's for sure. I don't think Hopeless can hit other characters, but I'm not about to find out. I don't think so. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go for the Exsanguinate. 80% hit chance, like that could have missed. Can you imagine that whiffing right there and then just Exang kill? Wouldn't that be fun? That would mean that I'd probably lose. Yeah, probably, very likely, but thankfully, fate would not have it that way, so we take the W. GG to Willises. Hope y'all enjoyed this match. I'll see you again another time. Cheers.